Hey, this is Robert. Thank you so much for tuning into Station Square. And yeah, hope everyone is doing well out there, staying cool from the from the summer heat. And yeah, we're just about to jump right into the Q&A. We have a returning guest in the corner. We have Jake King that's joining me once again. How are you doing?
Oh, good. How about you, Robert?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well, all things considered. And yeah, we're just gonna get right to the questions here and just gonna have a nice little follow-up chat. I guess the first question that I wanted to ask is, how's everything going? Like, live 2025, just how are you doing since we're kind of like in the second half of 20 of this year, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Already, huh? Can't even believe that. But yeah, it's been great actually. It's definitely a unique time in my life, to be honest, because many different things have happened and changed, and I've gone through a lot of different experiences per se. And so kind of to start, I imagined kind of at the beginning of this year that I'd be getting more into like just getting back more into YouTube and kind of just doing it as it was. But all that kind of got scrapped, but all for good reasons, I'd say, because I like I've essentially changed as an entire person. I become 18 years old, right, and I'm done with high school. I'm heading into college at a certain point, and like I kind of have the rest of my life set out for me, and that's definitely been a different experience. It's been very nice, I'll say, and everything's been going great, but it's definitely different. So overall, I mean, yeah, like it's just been great, I got college sorted not too long ago, so that I'm going in for cabinet making, or general woodworks per se. And high school, yeah, that's finished, and I'm 18. I already did a video on that. And recently, I even got a girlfriend, first one, so that's been a different experience too. And I've kind of been like bouncing all that, juggling all that together, and life itself has just been very good, but very different. I've changed way more than I could have imagined. It's definitely it's kind of funny because looking back just month after month, it's like I've changed in drastic ways more and more, and it's like all in kind of good in different ways. I wouldn't say anything's bad. I'd say everything's really good, but yeah, I mean, I did miss out on YouTube, so there's one thing, but everything else has been good, and we're getting back into that. I actually have some new stuff coming up for that. So overall, and like by new stuff, I mean new things that I've kind of wanted to add that are part of my identity here. We'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah, the only bad thing I guess is I like kind of missed YouTube to a degree, but overall, everything else has been fabulous. So yeah, it's been great.
So what was the moment that you wanted to be a content creator at YouTube? Pretty sure we also discussed this last time, but if I were to
Like
rephrase it in a way, like what would you say was the specific moment that you just wanted to start making videos on YouTube, and how would you say that making these videos left such a big impact on your life in a way, and that's helped you a lot over the years?
I'd say the moment was honestly, well, I was pretty young at the time, to be honest. I mean, I'm still young, but like I said, I've changed a lot over these time periods, and I kind of look back at them, and it's like a different man each time. And so back then, I mean, it honestly would have been the idea of like, I thought the only thing that I could really do to uh well, not like the only thing, but I really wanted to like just kind of grow as a teenager early on, and like have something of like a not like necessarily an income, but something that would lead into like a career in a sense. Not like a career on YouTube, but like a viable stream of something. Not just for money, but just for also like the idea of knowing that I have something that I can do for people. And so when I started out, I mean, it was kind of when I was, I think, 15 or something. And around that time, I was even just testing like I think I yeah, I opened up a drop shipping business at one point. I was like just testing things, and I was gonna do a couple different businesses, but like I tested them, and they were all like those niche ideas, and it was definitely not those are not the best. I mean, they work for some people, but they don't work for everyone. And so YouTube was also one of those kind of niche ideas, but I looked at that also to the fact that I really liked to talk about my experiences and kind of well just talk about things in general, right? So the moment I kind of decided was when I was like watching other YouTubers and I was kind of thinking like, I could kind of do what they can do, but well, yeah, I kind of actually just thought that at the time. I kind of thought I can do what they can do, and I can talk about what they talk about, and I'll just give my perspective, and that is a valuable thing. I mean, anyone can do that, right? So that is a valuable thing. So in the moment, I kind of just decided, I want to give it a try. I want to see what I can do, and I want to see what I can say and what people can hear. And I kind of started off in a way that I don't really agree with now. Now at this time, I kind of started off talking about the same topics that they would talk about, and those topics weren't necessarily they weren't exactly something that I would just talk about. It wasn't exactly something that I would just go do, right? So I kind of copied them to give my thoughts to kind of breach into their industry in a sense. And so that was kind of like my ideas. I'm going to breach into there and I'm going to try and be one of them and I'm going to get this thing going and then I can have these businesses, I can make this money and I can also I can share my word and I can help people. It's like all this is really good stuff, but it was in the name of breaching into a different industry with different people and trying to be them. Nowadays I readjusted and now I'm doing different stuff that it's purely what I experience. It's purely my style. I mean, other people have said, you can do this to make it better like those guys, or you can try and talk about these things like those other guys do. But generally speaking, that's not always the best. And so and it's not the most natural path. It's not a native path to who you are. So funny enough, I kind of decided to become a YouTuber back then, but I more decided to be my own YouTuber about like a year into the process, I guess, or not a year, but like maybe between half a year and a year into the process is when I kind of figured, this should be more me rather than me trying to be that guy or the other guy. You know what I mean? So it's definitely an interesting process. And it's really nice too because like I don't make money off all this. The idea was originally like, we're gonna use it, we're gonna make money. Not just for that, that was just one of the leading causes was like, all these YouTubers would go on and say you need to make 10,000 a month and you need to start a YouTube channel for that. So it was kind of like the idea kind of spawned there in a sense. It was like that could be an option. So that was definitely in the consideration. But nowadays, I don't make any money off of it, but I do help people. And it's really nice to see because they leave comments about how I've helped them and they talk about how this affected them and I get to see how that works. And yet again, there's even people that don't comment, but I know that they've watched it, right? Or at least part of it. Not everyone watches a whole video, but at least part of it. And with that, it's actually a really nice thing because you just know that you can take away from it at the end. I didn't make money out of this, and maybe I didn't gain the most out of like material stuff, but at the end of the day, I helped someone live a better life, and that's honestly more valuable than taking away money, at least at the moment. I mean, of course, we all know that money's good. So one day, if this were to produce money, then that'd be very nice. But in the meantime, it's not what I'm relying on. I'm still going to college and I'm still going to get a job there. I'm still going to do stuff there. If any that's going to be the money idea. That's where I'm going to make money. So this is not money. It would be nice if it did, but it's not necessary. So in the meantime, it's just nice because you know that you help people and you know that you can bring something to the table that they enjoy and that they grow from, and that's a very valuable thing. It's a very nice thing to do. And of course, Like I used to do it real consistently. I mean, nowadays I'm not doing it too much, but as I said, I mean, I've got a lot of my life changed a lot, and we'll get more into that in a bit. But yeah, it was really nice when I was going consistent and seeing it all, and it's still really nice to think about that I can still help people, and even now and then I still receive comments from old videos, and I still receive subscribers and views, and it's like, at the end of the day, that's people I helped, and so that's worth everything.
Yeah, right on. So would you say that it has been, well, something that has kind of really helped you grow along the way as you were making all of these videos? And okay, what was the question again? Okay, so what was something that, so just saying, describing all of that, would you say that's helped you a lot as a content creator? Just doing a lot of this stuff and basically just applying with some of the knowledge and experience that you've just shared with us. Like, would you say that that's been helpful for you? Like on YouTube and just in life in general, would you say?
Oh yeah, it definitely helps to actually talk about the experiences. I mean, part of the whole thing is like you need to understand what you went through, and that's not always like a really complicated question, but it really makes you think about, what did you do, why did you do it, and like what does this say about, you know? And that's kind of the approach I took to it because, originally I started off, like I said, I was kind of just copying their videos and their topics. But as I got more and more into deeper stuff, I started to realize, I can learn a lot from me and just me. I can learn a lot from all the things I go through and I can share those things. And when I review them, I can share them, and I can even learn more. And so, I review the topics and I review the things, and then I come to conclusions, and it was really deep thought. It would kind of help to just do that anyways, but then to post it, I mean, that's even better. So, like with kind of like some videos I did, like one of the most popular ones was or popular ones are on death, and yeah, thinking about death is not always a great thing, but that's some of the most valuable stuff that I've got because you know like I kind of eliminated my fear of death in those instances, in a way, and not like eliminated. We're all still afraid of death. Don't run on the highway, but it's like you kind of can, after reviewing it in a certain way. I've come to peace with it to a degree, and I've come to peace with some spirituality and with God and all that. Like not everyone has to worship the same religion. I'm just personally, I'm Christian for that matter. So that's just my route. But I've come to a more solid place with that, and all that kind of stems from thinking about these things and thinking about, what did I go through, what does it mean, and what can I learn. And yeah, it's pretty funny actually because I didn't expect it at first, but it just started happening. And like when I got to the deeper videos, it kind of just started happening where I was kind of learning about myself while doing them. I was like, oh, I suppose that works. Like I started to see my flaws. I started to see my stronger qualities. I started to see the things that I'm lacking in and the things that I have a little bit much of, which really just it kind of helped me reevaluate, what am I doing with my life? And that's not always like I was doing a bad thing, but it's like, as a person, like where am I, and am I proud of it? You know? And yeah, funny enough, it really helped me realign in a sense. I had to start taking breaks at points, like even with this. I mean, with this break that I've recently had, it's like part of that's due to the fact that I don't know if I'm really like I don't know if I was really ready to consistently upload like the solid stuff. I needed some time to kind of take back and process. I'm an adult now, and I'm going to college. I'm done school. I've got college set in. That's going to start in September. I'm going to get a job in January for it. I've got a wonderful girlfriend now, and like I've got all these things that I didn't have before, and that takes time to think about and to understand. And that's not me, like I don't want to milk it. I could just post a video today about literally all of that, but it's to say that I don't think I'm just ready, you know not just. You know, I have like I could just post that video actually, but I have some other stuff that I want to work on, which we will get to later. But once all that's bundled up, I want to get right back into it. But for the meantime, you know, I have other things that I need to grow with so that I can reach the point where I feel like now I'm ready, you know? And so that's kind of what the breaks are for, and it kind of stems from the fact that I had to really think about my videos, you know? I didn't just like because I used to kind of almost mindlessly talk about certain subjects, but now it's kind of like it's really important, you know? So it really helped me realign. I don't really put myself in a category of many other YouTubers, you know. Now I'm kind of separated from that, and it's good, but it's unique. It's different, you know, but a very good thing nevertheless, at least in my opinion. So it helps a lot, is how I'll say. To think about those things and to post them, it just helps both ways.
How would you say that going on this path really helped you so much? And since you've mentioned Christianity and stuff, how would you say that it can also help so many people take the first step in their faith or just really taking chances and taking risks in life? As you know, as often a lot of your videos themes are kind of centered around, you know, life and difficult subject matters
Oh, wait
and so
one
on and so
second,
forth.
Robert. 1 second. Let's get it. Said the device is overheating. I'm gonna put the AC on. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay, no worries.
Yeah. But
Yeah, but just sorry. Overall question was, how would you say that it helped you just with so many, because you make videos that centered around, you know, really difficult subject matters and just taking the first step of faith. Would you say that it's also helped you grow and just have an audience that is just able to really come to terms with with a lot of this stuff and just really helping them alongside with their lives, per se? Did that make sense? I'm sorry, it was kind of mumbo jumbo.
well, no, I think so, so. You mean like how would these?
Oh, hello. Oh, he froze. Okay, so TLDR, my question was, how would you say that your videos have helped people just take the first step in faith and just taking more risks? Because you mentioned Christianity, so I just kind of wanted to know how that ties into, you know, your videos and just reaching an audience out there.
Yeah. So, well, first off, I'll say that I can never really know anyone's personal experience after they watch them. Well, I can. So, some of them have told me, but generally speaking, I don't really know what the after effect is. I know that people take away from it, and I know that that'll stick in their mind and that'll help them. But I don't know if that means they're gonna take another step or if they're gonna actually act on something. Or I don't really know. Hope is that they do, but I can't really say for sure. But the effect that I want to have with it is essentially I want to teach people that we can't always like we need to be the best selves that we can be, but we can't always control everything. You know? It seems to be that the takeaway from every single video is that we need to be the best that we can be, and that we can't control everything. That is essentially kind of how it is. I mean, whether like with the death videos, you know, we can't control death, but we need to be the best that we can in response to it. Or something happens to us. I mean, there's been a bunch of other videos like there's been videos where I've made mistakes. Let's say like I remember there was this one where I was talking about kind of like greed to a degree, and yeah, like we can be greedy, but that doesn't mean we can always like control everything around us. But it means that we shouldn't allow ourselves to be greedy, you know, or at least try not to, you know, and to like turning 18, we can't control that. Turning 17, can't control that, but we need to respond with the best we can. Of course, there's other lessons in there, but it's the general idea of like the main two things is that we need to be the best people that we can be, but we can't control everything. And so, at least when it comes to faith, it directly applies in the fact of like God is is always with us. At least in my eyes, God is always with us, always looking out for us, even when situations are terrible. So the best thing that we can do is just take every day and do the best that we can, knowing that God is there with us. And that's a very big thing to kind of understand and to recognize, because it takes a lot for you to understand that God can also allow bad things to happen, or well, at least what we look at as bad things. And like it looks like he's abandoning us in situations. Like it takes a lot to recognize that that's not exactly what it is. And so with these videos, I mean, the hope is that generally that idea and those morals could help people take steps in their faith, but I can't exactly say if they do or not. But at least for me, it has helped because I review everything deeply, and I come to the conclusion of like, or well, I have to ask, like, why did this happen, and how does this link in with God? That has to happen every single time. Sometimes it's really minuscule because it's like, I turned 18. It's like, how does that link with God? It's kind of like I survived up until this point, you know. So that's not that deep. But there's deeper ones like death. It's like, death happens. Why does God allow that? And that's where you start to really question faith, and that's where you have to dig deep. And in my experience, that has really brought me closer to God and really, really has taken my faith to a different level. So the videos, if you look at it through the eyes of faith and through a lens that's looking kind of how does this work with a God in mind, then and this works for any religion, it's like with any God, just think of it like that. How does this work with any God in mind? Then you'll kind of be able to step closer to any faith for that matter. And like to a degree, I mean, every faith has its own ideals and such, but it's to say that you can kind of gauge, you can kind of use it anywhere to just take another step and to grow with whoever you worship.
Yeah. And let's talk about some of the stuff that you were mentioning that you'll get to later. Any big plans for the rest of 2025?
Yeah. So actually, there's big plans because yeah, as I was telling you, like there's a lot that's new in my life. There's a lot that's new, and it's very different. I mean, just at the start of the year, I was already like, I was already feeling like, I've got to make this year the most, and I've got to come back on YouTube, and I've got to do the most that I can. And at the beginning, I actually, I had a plan that I was going to kind of post, just these videos, but I didn't like I wanted to post more videos of what I did before, but that vision got scrapped pretty quick. I get deeper into 2025, I turned 18 pretty quick, and I got college sorted out, as I said, and I'm done high school. I just finished high school in a sense, so that's out of the box. And college in September, turned 18 in March, and got a girlfriend. She's wonderful, but like, but overall, uh, each of those experiences twisted that plan in like a plethora of different ways. Because I turned 18 and I kind of realized, now I'm a man and I have my own kind of identity and I need to figure out like
Yep, we're here.
you
Continue.
know, yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah, college kind of bounced off of turning 18. I kind of had to figure out, who do I want to be, and and it really just made me look at my person, see, who am I and what do I want to do with myself, and then sorting out college. It's like, I have until September. I don't necessarily have until September before it's like it's all over, but I want to get a few things wrapped up before September. So that really twisted the plan too. And then what was it? Well, yeah, finishing high school also brought a couple things in. Not too many actually, because I kind of already had my go with high school in like that video where I almost dropped out. Kind of had my go in there, but that still brought some stuff. And then with my girlfriend, that brought a bunch of new experiences and a bunch of new things to talk about that have changed me deeply as a person. And all these things twisted my plan. And so now the idea is that I want to take my channel and make it more not just about like the lessons and the experiences that I talk about, but also about just me as a person. because I looked into myself and saw like I have a bunch of different things that I can share. And so the idea, I'll just tell you the ideas. I'm a musician and I'm thinking of sharing music stuff. And I write fiction to a degree, and so I want to share that because I've been working on some stuff for 2 years now, and I want to start sharing that. And then I also I mean I don't know if this counts as art, but I paint mini figures every now and then. So I was thinking of sharing that too. And so my idea, in without explaining it too like without explaining all those individual things too much, the idea is that the new posting week is going to be something like two short videos or two yeah, literally just shorts or reels I, like of my story, and then two videos explaining it a little bit more. Like I'll go over like a character or a concept and then explain it more in a video. So we get two of those, which would be four videos already. And then we get two music videos, and then we get one painting video and one of the normal, like one about an experience. Overall, that's a very busy week. So when I said earlier that I could kind of just come back and start, throwing all my normal videos out and doing that just like that, I could, but I'm not ready because I want to release all of those alongside it. But we're really close to that actually. So my brother and I got recording equipment. We've almost finished recording a song here, or not. Well, we finished recording, but we need to record the video per se and edit videos. So we're gonna do that, and then yeah, I got the story stuff coming soon. I'm thinking of trying out the painting one. I don't know how to make it work just yet, but I want to make it work. And then just the uh, the normal lesson videos too. And so overall, that's like the new stuff for 2025. And that was not even like that was not even a dream in the early 2025. That was not even a thought in my head. But I went through a lot of different things, and I've changed a lot as a person. And now I think I kind of need to pursue this. I need to like it's not that I need to, but it's that I really want to bring this on towards an identity of me rather than just those videos. I want it to become a channel where it's everything about me and everything that I can share with the world. I can teach people music. I can share my story. I can show them how I paint things, and then they can take that too. It's all cool stuff, and then the videos that I usually do on top of that. So overall, I think it's going to be nice because it'll be more of an identity channel. It's like an identity of me, and that's going to be the channel. And I think that'll be very big, and I think it'll like I don't know just yet how it's going to work, but I know that as long as I stay consistent with it and enjoy it, it should be really good, and I know I'm going to have fun. So overall, I mean, that's kind of the plan for 2025, and that's coming soon here because I have most of that stuff already done. It's just a shame because July is like the most busy month for my family, and I even have a wedding to go to in like I think next week. So it's packed to say the least. I'm either gonna try. I think I'm gonna try posting everything early August. I think that's gonna be the start of it, but I'm gonna have to see how every event goes because I've got a lot of events, and I July is the packed month, but early August is the hope, and yeah, that's the new idea for 2025.
Yeah, right on, brother. Let me do this really quickly. We'll just have to conclude this in the finale, which shouldn't take any more than like 5, 10 minutes. So if you're enjoying this so far, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the finale coming shortly. Thanks.